In the meantime, we've got some news to report here. As I told you earlier, the vote on the compromise bill has been delayed until tomorrow. However, we have also learned that the House defeated the conservative bill, one of the two immigration bills. This was the conservative proposal. Now, that second vote on the compromise measure, as I said, it has been delayed until tomorrow. Joining me right now is someone who doesn't like either bill and give us a sense of where this is heading. Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona. Good to see you, Congressman. I just had Ed Rollins on, who was here with me as I reported the news that the compromise bill had been delayed. He said that means they don't have the votes. And do you think they're going to get them?
They have an uphill battle because you're dealing with this issue of they're trying to be conservative enough to try to keep conservatives on, and they're trying to be moderate enough to get moderates on. And when you start playing that game, you're probably not going to get there because you're getting no Democrat votes here.
Okay. You don't like either bill. How come?
Well, because for a lot of reasons. Number one is the DACA amnesty is something that not only I, but most of my colleagues campaigned against. And it's an amnesty, and they get special treatment. And they get to move ahead of folks who are trying to do it the right way throughout the world, the millions of people who want to come here. And I just think you keep your promises. Because the first thing that we should have been doing is building the wall. We should have started that process a year and a half ago. We'd be building the wall today. And guess what? You wouldn't have the asylum issue today if you did, because that's the big issue, is where people are coming in between the ports of entry. So you keep your promises, you build the wall.
Okay. So would you be willing, though, to say build the wall in exchange for offering a path to citizenship for some of those DACA kids? I mean, is that at all in the cards?
Well, for me personally, I look at it and I say, the first lesson I learned here was, if I have to make a promise with you where I have to perform first before you have to perform, then that's not a good promise, because I never see your performance. And that's what I think you'd get here.
Until you build simultaneously?
You're not going to see it done simultaneously, because it's going to take a year or two to build that wall and to fund it. And so that's what I think you do. You build the wall first, and then you can start having a more rational discussion about what do you do with people who are here illegally, because it's not just DACA people. You have millions of people here illegally. And the first step is to build the wall and enforce your laws. That's really what it's always been about. And I don't understand why people don't get it, because guess what? We're having a surge at the border right now because we've been talking about DACA amnesty. You have a population of over 1 million people between 2008 and 2018 that have come in as unaccompanied minors or with their parents. The same situation as the 2012 DACA folks. So you have another constituency you're going to get to deal with. Then you have the parents, because these folks don't just want DACA or legalization for themselves. They want their parents in. So you're talking anywhere from 6 to 8 million people over the next 3 to 4 years that you're going to be trying to figure out what to do with. And if you had a wall built, I think you could maybe more rationally.
It's not just the wall, though. It's more than the wall. I mean, I think the wall has become somewhat figurative in all this, because it's not just the wall, but it's ensuring that we have the ability to track who the heck is in our country. It's understanding that if you're going to come here, that you have to meet certain requirements, and that we should be strategic about things. I mean, that's, every other country, by the way, Congressman, is. Everybody else is strategic. It's not like I can just up and move to Timbuktu tomorrow. Timbuktu might say, listen, we need this and this and this, and we don't need any more TV anchors, so good luck.
Trish, you're exactly right. And that's part of our problem, is that we've basically gone to this sincerely held view that we should bring in families. And I understand that. But you know what? We're not bringing in the people necessarily that we want and need to come in, that will be a tremendous asset to this country. And people who want to be here, who are willing to come and give up their citizenship in some other nation because they want to be part of the fabric of American life. And they're prepared and willing to follow the rules of law. And if we don't follow the rule of law, we've basically undermined the very purpose for this exceptional country, the United States of America.
Look, I have no problem saying, this is what we need. We need more nurses. So, hey, maybe we should find some good. They have a lot of nurses in the Philippines. Maybe we should be strategic and say, listen, if you have this degree, we want you to come here, and we should make it easier for those people. we do need laborers as well. And so you might say, okay, we need laborers, but there should be some kind of process to this. We need engineers. Let's bring, but instead it's just, you know, if you're related to somebody who's already here, you get in, and it can be kind of a free ticket, Congressman. I mean, let's face it, right? We can't support the world. We can't support everyone. You ought to be able to take care of yourself if you're going to come here.
Absolutely, and that's part of saying, you know, we're going to do a merit-based system, and people talking about this merit-based system, but I'm not seeing it develop in any of these bills that are being proffered right now. And if we don't do a merit-based system, we will be overrun, and basically, you know, we're going to continue to see the incentives that bring people here and cause them to stay here illegally, and that just can't happen.
I know it's a hard thing to say, and you're probably going to get some flack for saying it, but you know, you have only to look at Europe right now, really and truly. And I mentioned this on the air the other day. I was talking with someone from Sweden who's on the left, but is very, very concerned because the fabric of that society cannot handle the migrants they have coming in. Economically, they can't handle it. Culturally, they can't handle it. And you're seeing a huge backlash as a result. We don't want to get to that. And so we need to be a little bit more cautious and thoughtful about who's coming in the first place. Congressman Biggs, wonderful to see you. Thank you very much.